In this video, I will deliver a curse called the post-December 16th, 2017 Paradigm Shift Curse, or if you like, the UFO Jesus UFO Disclosure Curse. Take your pick, muchacho. As you all know, on December 16th, 2017, the New York Times published a bombshell article titled "Glowing Auras and Black Money, the Pentagon's Mysterious UFO Program." And that, my friends, cemented the UFO disclosure curse's genesis that began 1,760 days from today. If we're being frank, and with all due deference to the UFO skeptics, I don't think any skeptics out there anywhere thought for even a single minute that after this article was published that the UFO narrative would continue the way it has, unabated, to the point where right now the United States Congress is poised to pass major legislation that includes the potential implication that some UAP are not made by man. To exemplify how accurate this is, here is a discussion on Twitter between journalist Merricks Tweet and world-leading skeptic Mick West. So it starts out with Mick West quoting Lou Elizondo and then responding to him. Lou Elizondo stated, "Despite the naysayers and deniers, thankfully Congress is doing the right thing. A big thank you to The Hill, Dean Johnson, and many others we work with despite the petty drama created by attention seekers. Congress implies UFOs have non-human origins." To which Mick West responds, "A rather misleading spin by Lou Elizondo and Rennenkampf. The new definition of UAPs in S4503 excludes objects positively identified as man-made. That does not imply UAP UFOs are non-human. It implies they are unidentified," to which Merrick responds to Mick, "Hi Mick West, to clarify, under the draft legislation, if the new UFO office identifies an object as a drone or a balloon, it immediately stops investigating, passes the information on, and moves on to another case. If that language becomes law, what's the point of the office?" I think Merrick has a point, frankly. In the aforementioned New York Times bombshell article that published in 2017, it stated, in the interview, Mr. Elizondo said he and his government colleagues had determined that the phenomena they had studied did not seem to originate from any country. That fact is not something any government or institution should classify in order to keep secret from the people, he said. And that's really the crux of the matter, isn't it? Elizondo laid out the essence of the decades-long problem for the whole world to see. He didn't mince words, that's for sure. Before I lay out my curse, I want to explain to you who Philip J Klass was. Well, he was kind of like the Mick West of his time, though some would argue, whereas Mick is a nice guy, Philip had a, shall we say, nasty side to him. Suffice to say, he was indeed the world's biggest UFO skeptic during the 20th century. On October 10th, 1983, Klass wrote his quote-unquote last will and testament that was originally published in James Mosley's newsletter, Saucer Smear. The last will and testament of Philip J Klass contains his curse. And well, my curse, that is the UFO Jesus UFO Disclosure Curse, takes its inspiration from his curse. Philip J Klass, if you're out there somewhere, hey, thanks for the inspiration. I appreciate it. If he can make a curse, surely I can as well. What's good for the goose is, after all, good for the gander. Know what I'm saying? Here is the curse of the late Mr. Klass, the last will and testament of Philip J. Klass. To ufologists who publicly criticize me, or who even think unkind thoughts about me in private, I do hereby leave and bequeath the UFO curse. No matter how long you live, you will never know any more about UFOs than you know today. You will never know any more about what UFOs really are or where they come from. You will never know any more about what the U.S. government really knows about UFOs than you know today. As you lie on your deathbed, you will be as mystified about UFOs as you are today. And you will remember this curse. Well, that's cute. That's cute. Really cute. Now it's time for the UFO Jesus UFO Disclosure Curse. Are you ready? Good. What some skeptics and believers alike have stressed about what has followed the December 16th, 2017 bombshell New York Times article will eternally and forever be wrong. Yeah, I know saying eternal and forever is redundant, but I'm feeling the fire of God within me. That is, we are not in a UFO flap or merely a recycling of a past UFO flap. On the contrary, we will never again return to the pre-December 16th, 2017 UAP media coverage levels, congressional interest levels, nor scientific interest levels. And this is because the toothpaste can never be shoved back into the tube, children. And my curse continues. Neil deGrasse Tyson and other prominent scientists that were once hostile toward this subject will radically change their tune on it in our lifetime, and until they breathe their last breath, and may they live long and prosper. And my curse continues. NASA will continue to study UFOs over the long term and will only possibly stop if another large organization is deemed a better fit for the future funding they would receive to study this enigma. Otherwise, NASA will study UAP forever. And my curse continues. With the righteous pressure of the United States Congress currently underway for UAP transparency, at least, at minimum, one UAP legacy program will be discovered and officially verified. And some people believe and have stated, those in the know, it's already been discovered behind closed doors. It will be much older than OSAP and ATIP and much better funded too. We will all learn about it, possibly in a future New York Times article. And my curse continues. As the disclosure process continues, and it shall, we will hit a tipping point where throngs of mainstream journalists feel safe to ask the tough and obvious questions about this enigma. Questions such as, how was this covered up? Why was this covered up? Who are the intelligence or intelligences behind the wheel of UAP? How many countries were involved in this cover-up? And my curse continues. The consensus that some UAP represent non-human technology will grow over time as opposed to diminish. And ultimately, it will be established as hard science that we are not alone. And my curse continues. Learning about UAP will become a part of the curriculum of our schools and universities across the world. And my curse continues. Gentlemen like former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid, former intelligence officer Luis Elizondo, former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Intelligence Chris Mellon, Stanford scientist Gary Nolan, and ladies like Senator Kirsten Gillibrand will go down in history as absolute heroes for playing pivotal roles in deteriorating UAP secrecy. And that doesn't have to mean hero worship for those that think it does. And my curse, my bloody friend, continues. The world will be better off as a result of UFO disclosure. For one thing, we'll be out of the dark ages and into the light of truth. humanity will begin to gradually see itself as a singular species that needs to try harder to work together in harmony. And science will progress faster as a result of knowing that UAP technology is real. A little inspiration goes a long way. Maybe this isn't all such a big curse after all. Maybe this is all a profound blessing and just what the world needs. Maybe it's also our destiny. It is our destiny if my curse comes to fruition. I think it will. It was fun to make a curse in the footsteps of Philip J Klass, and I can already hear some of the rumblings in my surroundings. Oh, you're telling us what's going to happen. How dare you? Meanwhile, people who do this, from my experience, will assert that all UFOs are near certainly or certainly prosaic in nature, that disclosure will never happen, that it's a pipe dream. And yet, the science hasn't even been done. Professor Avi Loeb of Harvard has a quote that goes something like this, if not exactly like this. If we don't look through our windows, we can argue we don't have neighbors, but that will not get rid of our neighbors. There has not yet been a long-term systematic study of UAP by the scientific community. Avi Loeb of the Galileo Project is the first. So for anyone to say UFOs are almost certainly prosaic, disclosure will never happen, okay, enjoy your prediction, indulge in it, but don't say you're not making a prediction. Don't say that your bias is not on display for everyone to see. The most objective people are people like Avi Loeb, not people like me, not people like some of the cynics that I see that will tell you the nature of reality. No. Those people, like me and them, are biased. Scientists like Avi Loeb are objective. They're actually pursuing the data scientifically in reserving judgment. Not saying UFOs can't be this or are this, but just looking for the data. So if you're going to criticize me for explaining what I think is going to happen, don't in the same breath create your own narrative that is premature. Please do not forget to subscribe. If you'd like to support this channel, you can check out my merch shop where I sell t-shirts. You can become a patron. You can become a YouTube member. You can give me a one-time donation. All of those possibilities are in the description below, or you can just slap a like on this bad boy and I'll appreciate it so much. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Special thanks to all patrons, YouTube members, those that have bought merch, those that have given me a one-time donation. I couldn't do without you. Thank you so much. See you in the next episode.